The Supreme Court of India has consistently held that convictions cannot be based on mere conjectures or suspicions. This foundational principle ensures that justice is not only done but is seen to be done, maintaining the integrity of the judicial process. This principle is especially critical in cases relying on circumstantial evidence where direct evidence is absent and the truth must be inferred from the surrounding facts. The court demands that guilt must be proven by credible evidence, not by guesswork or the moral conviction of a judge. The evidence must be so compelling that it leaves no room for reasonable doubt. Strong suspicion is never a substitute for proof in a court of law. The judiciary must be vigilant to ensure that the rights of the accused are protected. Circumstantial evidence involves piecing together various facts. Much like assembling a complex puzzle, each piece must fit perfectly to form a coherent and convincing picture. Each piece might not on its own provide a complete picture of guilt. However, when combined, they must lead to an inevitable conclusion of guilt. Unlike an eyewitness account, circumstantial evidence requires careful and logical linking of facts to infer a conclusion. This process demands meticulous attention to detail and a thorough understanding of the law. Courts must approach such evidence with extreme caution, ensuring that any inferences drawn are reasonable and strongly supported by the established facts. The burden of proof lies heavily on the prosecution. The rigorous standards for evaluating circumstantial evidence act as a crucial safeguard. They prevent miscarriages of justice and uphold the principle that it is better for a guilty person to go free than for an innocent person to be wrongfully convicted. If the presented circumstances can be reasonably explained by a hypothesis consistent with the accused's innocence, then an acquittal must follow. This ensures that the justice system remains fair and just, protecting the innocent while holding the guilty accountable. The Supreme Court has laid down clear guiding principles for the evaluation of circumstantial evidence. These tenets ensure a systematic, fair and consistent approach by lower courts. The judgment in Abdul Nassar v. State of Kerala reiterated these principles. One principle is the meticulous analysis of all testimonies. Another involves the explicit delineation of reasonable inferences drawn from the evidence. The circumstantial evidence must form a complete and continuous chain pointing exclusively to the guilt of the accused. The court's judgment must clearly explain the rationale for accepting certain pieces of evidence while rejecting others. Meticulous analysis demands an exhaustive examination of all evidence on record. Trial courts must be exceptionally thorough in this process. Every piece of information must be carefully weighed and considered for its potential impact on the case. Inferences act as logical bridges, connecting established facts to probable conclusions. Courts must distinguish between speculative leaps and sound, reasonable deductions based on the evidence. The judiciary must clearly articulate the inferences it draws within its judgments. This transparent articulation allows for effective appellate review and public understanding. The judiciary is entrusted with the profound duty to exercise the highest degree of care and intellectual honesty. The chain of evidence is a crucial concept in criminal law, especially in cases relying on circumstantial proof. It is the backbone of the prosecution's case, meticulously built piece by piece. Each incriminating circumstance is a link in this chain, contributing to the overall strength of the case. Every link must be strong and reliable, connecting seamlessly to form a continuous sequence. This ensures that the narrative presented is cohesive and convincing. Each link must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, leaving no room for ambiguity or doubt. The chain must point exclusively to the guilt of the accused and be inconsistent with any reasonable hypothesis of their innocence. This is essential for a conviction. If a crucial link is unreliable, it weakens the entire prosecutorial narrative, potentially leading to reasonable doubt. The chain must encircle the accused so tightly that it leaves no plausible avenue for their innocence, ensuring a watertight case. This ensures that the evidence is compelling and forms an unbroken chain pointing towards guilt, leading to a just and fair verdict. Section 106 of the Indian Evidence Act addresses situations where a particular fact is especially within the knowledge of the accused. This section is crucial in legal proceedings as it shifts the focus to the accused when certain facts are not easily accessible to the prosecution. It allows the court to consider the accused's failure to provide an explanation for such facts. This can be a significant factor in the court's decision-making process, especially in complex cases. Section 106 does not imply that the accused must prove their innocence. Instead, it places a responsibility on the accused to clarify facts that are uniquely within their knowledge. It means that if certain facts are peculiarly within their knowledge, they may be expected to offer an explanation. This expectation is not a burden of proof, but a call for clarity. The prosecution must first establish a prima facie case against the accused. This means they must present sufficient evidence to support the charges before Section 106 can be invoked. Only then can Section 106 come into operation. It acts as a supplementary tool for the court to seek explanations for specific facts. It is not meant to fill all evidentiary gaps or relieve the prosecution of its fundamental duty. The prosecution still bears the primary burden of proof. The provision ensures that the accused's failure to explain certain facts can be a relevant factor considered by the court. This helps in achieving a fair and just outcome in the judicial process. The Supreme Court's decision in Abdul Nasser v. State of Kerala serves as a significant example of these principles in action. The case concerned the horrific rape and murder of a 9-year-old girl. The chain of evidence was multifaceted and compelling. Key circumstances included the victim being last seen with the accused's daughter and the victim's body being discovered in the accused's residence. Forensic evidence, including DNA analysis, played a significant role. Another case, Subhash Agarwal, dealt with the crime of filicide. The Supreme Court upheld the conviction based on compelling circumstantial evidence. These cases underscore the importance of a rigorous, rational, and comprehensive evaluation of evidence to ensure justice.